And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're pleased to welcome Nick the Archangel. He is Director of Communications for the Nevada State Education Association. Pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
Thanks, Sam. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so ESAs, obviously one of the huge topics of the session. Where does your group stand on this as far as NSEA goes?
Well, the Nevada State Education Association is firmly committed to a quality public education for all Nevada students, and the ESA private school vouchers stands in the way of that vision. It basically takes money, taxpayer money, and shuffles it over to private schools, and we feel that the governor's commitment of $60 million would be better used for programs like Zoom programs, programs that are showing promise and programs that are working, and bring more money into those programs for all students.
Now, as you well know, this session is going to be a situation where the Democrats are going to propose and the governor is going to either agree or veto. This looked like, the big deal of a session with Michael Robeson and Ben Keekhaver saying no ESAs, no budget. Where do you think this is going to end up? Do you think that there's going to be something that's going to have to go towards ESAs?
Well, it seems right now that it's a showdown, right? You've got both sides drawing lines in the sand, but I'm hoping that the proponents for the voucher system look really hard at the data. Look at the studies that show, even by proponents, there's a phenomenal study by the Fordham Institute that came out in July where they say, look, we know this isn't going to be very popular. We support vouchers, but the fact is that students that use the voucher programs have a decline in English and math scores. I think when you look at the results of this, the return on investment just isn't there. It's a program that just shouldn't get off the ground. I think that with this data put forward, I think with good conversations, that instead of that program, we'll see money go towards the governor's other programs that are showing promise.
Are you concerned that it seems from the Las Vegas Sun stories that the zip codes for which most of these ESA applications are coming from are middle and higher income neighborhoods rather than poor? Would you be more supportive if there was more effort made to include poor schools or poor areas, I should say?
Right, and I'm familiar, and that is a phenomenon that happens across the country. Right, the students that take advantage of those programs tend to be higher income students. But to answer your question, no. And the reason why is because we know that it doesn't help any student that takes advantage of the vouchers, but it also hurts the students that are left behind in public schools. So if it was expanded and there was something that allowed lower income where they were suddenly entering into the program, it still wouldn't solve underlying issues with public schools. And also, even if those that revenue exists or there's some sort of solution, private schools still discriminate. They still have the option of whether accepting students or not. And the research shows that the schools actually discriminate not just on basis of LGBTQ, but also income levels. So it's not a solution, and that's why we're firmly against it.
And that's where we have to leave it for now. We'll see lots more of you in Carson City. Thanks for being here, Nick.
Thanks, Sam.
We'll be right back.